Welcome to the 2024 Nova Scotia Scotties Provincial Playdowns. We're partnered with the 2024 Ocean Contractors Tankard, so if you're tuning in, you get to watch one of those two games. And today we are featuring Team MacNutt and Team Black. It's draw one of the Nova Scotia 2024 Scotties. I'm Selena Thompson.
We were just like middle of that, right on that wood point, like a little bit outside.
Thanks for joining me, Greg. We're so happy to be here and bring you live coverage for the rest of the week as we determine, or we will see which teams determine that they are going to represent Nova Scotia at the Scotties in the Brier later this year. We're at the Halifax Curling Club, and we're so glad to have you. And so we're going to get started here. The teams have had their pre-event practice and draw to the button.
Okay.
And it looks like Team Black, they're throwing the blue stones. They're going to have hammer.
Probably be same speed
going. Is up first.
Okay.
This is Grace McCusker throwing lead stones for Team MacNutt. Notable, we were just talking, Greg and I, that this Team MacNutt, they're junior eligible.
Mine's
so it's
good.
pretty neat to have them here curling in the provincials.
This is almost like
Mine's really good, just top four. Allison's rock.
So we're used to seeing a lot of 8-end games, but regulation
14.
here for the provincials and of course for
Nice
the national championships will be 10 ends. And they're on the clock. It's thinking time. I haven't seen, but it's usually 38 minutes of thinking time with a couple timeouts and a 5th end break. So you can hang out with us for approximately 2.5 to 3 hours today and every draw. And what are we looking at for the first end? We've got Team MacNutt. Grace threw that one into the rings. They probably don't want to get things too complicated. Their first ever Scotties. Team Black, defending champions for, I should know this, the last few years now. They'll be looking to put pressure on, I'm sure, and they would have had their discussion.
And we're going right away, too, with the corner guard going up.
And no surprise, you got to rock behind the tee line for Team MacNutt. You want to put something in front. Try and keep play away from that corner guard as much as possible, but they'll be aware. Team Black will be trying to make a move around that eventually. And this one looks really good. Good adjustment there for Grace. Just going to the back 4, back 8 on her first. But we talk about that. Take a few feet off. Make that adjustment.
So pretty quick. Okay.
And Team Black here, they're playing into the rings now. They could put up another corner guard, but we know that due to the 5-rock rule, that corner guard can't be removed. So Christina asking Shelly Barker, lead, to make a play. And I guess we should probably introduce the teams because I forgot to do that. Want to have a go?
Sure. So the very familiar Team Black. That skip is Christina Black. Second is, third is Jen Baxter. Second is Carly Everest. And at lead is Shelly Barker. And for Team MacNutt, at skip is Allie MacNutt. Third is Maria Fitzgerald. Second is Allison Umlaw, and at lead is Grace McCusker.
And not every team has a coach this week, but both of these teams certainly do.
Oh, I forgot all about that. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm just trying to make the point because they're
so Team
sitting
Black
beside us chatting.
Right, that's right. So Team Black would be the McLeans, Stuart and Carol. And for Team MacNutt would be the ever so famous Teresa Breen.
Okay.
Teresa normally curls, but I heard she broke her wrist recently. So
she had a little unfortunate accident with a pebble can, which we won't talk about on air right now.
I think everybody's figured it out. Very, very experienced curler, which is why I bring that up. And frustrating to have that, but she's been coaching this team for a while now, and it's nice to see their successes.
Yeah, Teresa's really worked really well with this team.
So looking for the hit and roll. This looks like a good
Nice.
result. Carly could have made the double as well. That would have been like a plan A, plan B situation.
Okay, you got it, Allison. Right to it.
Allie's happy to not be messing around with that corner guard just yet. He can play on the other side.
Yep.
This is Allison Umlauf.
10-5. Yep. Come, Maria. Keep going. You're holding it.
Trying to keep that high of the center line. They didn't want to jam on their yellow, and look at the shooter rolling out. So that one just over curled, and now Christina very, very quick to go and
I like it.
call this draw around the corner guard.
I like either of those numbers. Yeah.
And so what do you think after practice? Do you think the ice would be a little quicker for this draw to the wings, or they didn't play it as much in practice?
I honestly wasn't paying too much attention in practice, but I think you'll see the same swing everywhere on the ice right now. So
That's nice. I had a little bit light, but
I find teams tend to play outside in practice, and often this will be a little slow on the first draw. Shelley had the corner guard there, though, so they've watched the path.
Shelly.
Making the switch on the sweepers.
that's really
I whacked that, but I didn't move it. Okay.
Really nice. I think they got that almost all buried.
Atta
Really
girl.
doesn't have much of a choice. Can't hit it. Can't see enough of it.
Okay, it was 37. Yeah. Yeah.
And we're on to third stones with Maria Fitzgerald.
Heel. Close. Clean.
Let that to come up a hair more, but watch the shooter here. This will be good if they can spin that in.
That's in, but like we're shot. Okay. Yeah.
It's a pretty aggressive call already to go around.
Okay.
Yeah, Christina could call the hit here for Jen,
Okay.
opting to use that as a guard. And this is the pressure that we thought we'd see Team Black using.
Okay, my weight's pretty close.
Just so much experience curling at this level. They've been traveling a lot this year. I think I've watched more
Yes, we can hear
games
you.
on on the live feed of them than I have in person.
7. 7. 8. No. Yeah, it's like a little.
So that's really moving nicely across the center line. Shelley trying to bury it. Great shot.
Good.
Hard to bury stone around top 12, but
Okay.
that one's over buried.
Good.
Couple options here. Play the hit and roll, play the freeze, play the run back.
10.
Yeah, I think the run back is, if you don't make it perfect, you're giving up 3 pretty easy. So I like this. You
Yeah.
kind of concede to 2 and try and roll the shooter over, you think, to the center line?
That would be ideal. She knows that Christina can come around again. Plus keep the 3 in play. This one's out a bit, I think.
Really running straight. We're seeing, we don't see these rocks in action all that often, the provincial rocks that get brought out for the championship play. And they're an aggressive rock with a thinner striking band than we would see with most club rocks.
Okay.
But they still will run straight if you give that nice release. And I think Maria might have just seen
Yeah.
that there.
Nothing crazy.
So the ideal placement here would probably be to Christmas
we're
tree
still
around the top
there.
8.
What's a Christmas tree?
Similar way.
I'm glad you asked.
Stay close. Okay.
So I will tell you what a Christmas tree is.
7.
It's basically kind of an overlap between the guard and the rock and the ring. Not fully buried, not fully not. So you can see a piece of it. This looks like it's going to be perfect.
Further. Shoot, that's high, hey?
There you go. There you can see a little bit, almost like they're ornaments hanging on a tree. Not much of a choice for Allie. So Christina could have asked Jen to go open and split the rings, but grouping the blue stones, but all pretty protected under that yellow stone. Allie's going to play a short run back. It's about 2 feet.
You might open it
So you can have a little more room for error with a shorter run back, because with a steeper angle, you're still likely going to make contact with the stone in behind. She just doesn't want to hit this super thin on either side.
The other call would be to hit the open one and roll in, possibly make the double.
Yeah, you got it, Allie.
But this is preference.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like she's playing this with a ton of weight, maybe just soft weight. Make sure you lose the blue in the 8-foot. But probably is trying to keep the shooter around pretty close to that where the yellow stone is now. I don't think this will be a heater, so we're on to skip stones.
Pretty good shot already for the first game.
Yeah, push it back, push it back. Theo! Hardy got it. Keep going, keep going.
Got to the inside of it, so hit too thin on the wrong side. Doesn't make contact with any of the blue stones. So now decision time for Team Black. They're looking at potentially up to 4 points here now with last rock.
Yeah.
How do you do that? Do you draw?
Inside out,
You draw to the open side. That's kind of the automatic gut. They could guard. But they're talking about playing another skinny come around. The ideal play, I think, is to just reduce the chance of a double being made. But I think it's really hard to group the stones and not leave a double no matter what. I like the draw open.
Yeah, I'd be.
I think if you draw open, Allie's trying to double on the top one, and
or she goes all in and tries to freeze to the back one.
Yeah.
25.
But we know Christina Black can make those big shots at the end.
I
so
know, but
even if she made something like
I
that,
think we can carry it a mile.
those are the shots that Christina likes to play.
Yeah, you could have made they did make a highlight reel out of her shots at the National Scotties last year.
Okay.
My goodness.
I think there was a top 10 list of best shots from the Scotties, and I think she had 3 or 4 of them.
So not a lot of ice here. Looks like they're maybe making contact with.
Well, she talked about splitting it for a little bit too.
Yeah, that seems to be maybe what the idea is. Just with draw weight though.
We're deep.
Sweeper's saying heavy.
No, not quite. Back 8. Wall. Actually, we are back 12.
Yeah, we're deep.
So I don't think they're going to make contact with the top stone. Oh, there it
I
goes.
think they are. Yeah, she's going to play the split.
Great shot. Good.
It's not bad.
Good call.
Good.
Honestly, that was.
So there's a bunch of doubles, but I don't think any of them leave Allie's
Can you play that and get the double
shooter in
and
a
just
good
roll
spot.
under?
So Christina's going to have a good shot on her last regardless here.
Like the outside ones? Like across the face? You'd roll under?
You can almost try and nose that
Then maybe jams
one
her.
on the F in Halifax and make
she
contact with one of the ones at the back. I think a good result here for Allie is double.
Oh, okay.
Looks like they're trying the thin double on the top too to leave the shooter in front. Probably the most ideal result. Bit of a thin double.
Okay. Yeah, you got it, Allie.
A little more.
Okay. There you go, Allie.
So Allie MacNutt looking to limit the damage here from Team Black in the first end. Thin double.
Heel! Heel!
the top one. Oh, there she does. Oh, that's
Good though.
Looks good. Got rid of 2, I think.
pretty
Achieved.
Close, pretty close to the triple, but I think they don't mind giving up 3 after that.
Oh. More of the same, I think.
Same shot.
Is that similar path?
Same exact ice.
Okay.
So the same or a little less.
Yep.
You need a piece of the 8-foot, guys.
Okay.
So let's see if
Weight's
Team
good.
Black, they
Little
can
heavy.
put this one in the
We gotta
8-foot
wait.
for a 3 spot in the first.
Piece of the 8-foot. Back 4. Back 4.
That's the beauty of hammer in the first. You
might
get to
need
have
that.
the last say, huh?
Yeah, we're like.
And if you're in trouble, you have a chance to score. This one looks good.
Good. Nice throw.
No doubt there from Christina.
I was like, it might be a
Good
little
for
more,
3. They'll
but
take
it's okay.
a 3-0 lead after 1.
Yeah.
And just a reminder, if you didn't hear us earlier, 10 ends of play. So these are long games if you're in for it.
Hers really did.
It curls at the end. Right. I think if you
Nice
had
play,
a
I think,
sweep
from
them,
Team Black
I
in the
think you would
first, and
sweep
Team
it
MacNutt, they'll
if
get
it was,
settled.
like, a higher number, but
They
just
just
when you
finished
kind
their
of leave
first
it
end
as
of
a
women's provincials.
Yeah, exactly.
First of many to come, I would say.
And they'll get the hammer back. Yeah, they've been doing really well on the junior circuit, and their provincials will be coming up. My goodness, I think it's not until March. I'm getting the nod. I was February, sorry. I was looking it up the other day, and now I
Late
can't remember.
Late February.
I'm
Mid-
used to them
mid.
being, I'm used to them being at the end of December, and so it's very strange. Yeah,
Try your best. Not short.
during the first weekend of the Scotties. So, I mean, ideally, they don't have to play in it. I guess in this situation, they have to get through this week, but
Oh, it's a lot.
we'll see what they can do here with hammer in the second.
Line's good, top 4.
So I'm just looking around at some of the other scores after the first end. I don't see anything on the sheet 1 between Team Fleming and Team Everest. One thing we didn't really note is that the provincial Scotties and the Tankard are happening at the same time this year, so we have to make sure that we, when we give you the updated scores, we tell you if it's for the Tankard or the Scotties. So for sheet 1, Paul Fleming and Bryce Everest are playing. Oh, I do see a blank end after the first end. And the other men's score on sheet 8, Team Purcell scored 1 in the first end against Team McLeod. And on sheet 4 in the Scotties draw, Team McDermott scored 1 against Team Filbert, and up 1-0.
So Shelly Barker started us off. That blue stone you see just biting the top 12 was hers. Sweepers had to help that one to get it there. And then the corner guard from Team MacNutt and Grace McCusker. Grace coming a little bit tight to the rings. I have a feeling they might be putting up a second corner after that. We do play with the 5 rock rule. I feel like that's old hat now, but everybody's, you know, the past year to 2 years getting used to the no tick rule. That's the new one that we have to remind everybody that's in place if your guard's on the center line.
Definitely creates for more rocks in play with that tick rule.
A nice come around or attempt at come around there from Shelly. Almost got under her first stone. No second corner guard. Interesting. Hit and roll would be a great result here from Grace.
Easy.
Important to keep the shooter. Watch the roll. Pretty good result. Almost got that under.
Another piece of information that our viewers might want to know is that this year's format is a little different than normal. This year we're having a triple knockout to a page playoff system, whereas in the past we've done an 18 round robin. So it really makes you change your strategy a little bit in certain games. So every game is important in this.
Hard, Shelly, go hard. Get the rope. No, just
Nice.
go, please. Just go. Good. She's just a little into her.
Okay.
I just erased it when I went to look at it.
Okay.
I couldn't even remember where the provincials were last year, so I can't.
They were in
if you asked me
Nebraska.
what
They
the
were-
form, I thought so, but then
Yeah.
I thought I might have been wrong, and I could have just Googled it, but no, of course not.
Okay, you got it. Good board.
So Shelly worked hard just to keep that blue stone running straight and getting by the guard, so the hit made. As we're on to second stones, we saw Carly Everest. Now this is Allison Umlaw again
Clean. Whoa, whoa.
for her first in the second end.
Close, close. Yep. Oh, you got it. Keep going, keep going, keep going.
They waited on that one to try and get a little bit of a roll. Really good line call there, because those can look a little scary coming at you with aggressive rocks. Got that at least a third buried.
Easier, eh? It's just a hair high, basically. 8.5.
Forcing a different shot here, so
Nope.
mission
Just let her
accomplished
know.
with that hit and roll from Team MacNutt. Now Carly's going to actually just try and remove both yellows. They don't really want to keep the shooter around either, though, so you heard Christina saying just a hair high. This one will have a lot of weight on it.
8.
Yep.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yep.
And there we go. Hit it the perfect angle to leave that yellow out front. Not in the rings, but
Okay,
it will
you
be
got
a
it.
guard, so
Yeah.
draw here.
You got it.
So it looks for Team MacNutt, if they can make a good draw here on Allison's second, probably have a decent chance to get a couple points. They got the corner guard, and
Back 12.
that top 12-foot stone isn't a huge risk at
They're calling back 12 on this one.
We're close to
so
through.
don't want to touch it.
Okay.
I have the feeling that yellow rock's going to disappear.
I always love the wishful thinking on sweeping. We all do it. Like the sweepers know it's probably
Yeah.
through, but they got to say, well, we're trying for back 12 if we don't touch it. It's hard.
Yeah, this is why they need to bring back
Yeah.
the corn broom sometimes. And debris the ice.
Bad sportsmanship.
Yeah, I know that. I take it back.
We all wish for that sometimes.
Great throw.
Nice
10-3.
throw.
My favorite is sweeping behind the rock, which you're not supposed to do.
Okay. You go, Maria.
But I find a lot of new curlers, like they're like, oh, I'm the first person to have thought of this. It's so funny.
10. Okay, you got a good throw.
So no corner guard anymore, Team MacNutt. You can see how things change quickly. No draw in the rings and no yellows around anymore, so they got to play a little more open, maybe go for the blank here now.
10-8. 9-5.
I think if those blue rocks were overlapped and less open, they could have thought about drawing around them, but I feel like it's pretty early in the game. They're happy to go for a blank here if they can.
Good.
That's sometimes the beauty of the 10-end game. You can play a little bit more relaxed instead of trying to steal, and score quickly. If it was an 8-end game, she might have wanted to consider draw around everything, being down a few points already, but 10-end game,
Hit less.
go for the blank now.
Yeah, you're less likely to want to be forced in the 10 because you're comfortable with a blank a little more than in the 8 end.
She's close to the roll here.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. No, it's great.
Great shot.
Good.
Yeah, I like the roll like that a lot better than just a half roll because
Yeah, it's like a
there's not really anything to come around.
You got it.
Team MacNutt really just has
Right
to
to
hit it.
You got it. Heel. Heel.
Just getting the top one.
Yeah, Maria had to hit that almost on the nose to make the double. Just seen that a few of hers now, just hanging a bit straight on her hits.
because if I guard, she comes around, so you can also come around a bit. Yeah, maybe there.
So now Team Black, they'll
You
want
probably
to
wanna be
force.
about T-line so that the double's pretty steep.
Don't want to leave a double. So usually in this case, you go high in the rings or deep in the rings to make it a flat double or to none, or a very, very, very steep double, because those are just about as hard.
Or back.
I think just cross side 8 foot.
I think that was Jen there. Up or back, which is
Or
correct.
I'd like this one to be like T-line is pretty steep double. Oh. Yeah.
Simplified, simplified strategy.
That's right.
So this is coming across a bit of a new path, but similar to what I just threw. Pretty close. Like, oh, that's true. Okay, 420 then?
Yeah, 15 seconds.
15 is pretty quick for the second end.
Yeah, they got Shelley's. It was a 15-3 into the top 12.
Or 10. I think we're really close.
Probably a good time to give credit to the ice maker here, Adam McKieran, because he always seems to do a great job with the ice. And I don't think it's luck.
No, we are very lucky to have him on our staff.
So sweepers are waiting for that one. They knew it was probably there on its own. Didn't want to take it too far and take it through.
They went for the back option.
Okay.
So Allie's not going to go for the double on this one.
She could probably go for the aggressive roll and maybe get shot behind the top rock.
Okay. You got that one. Yeah. Right to you got it.
You think nose would be worst case here? Just sit shot? And then
I don't
any
think
kind of roll to the center might be helpful.
I don't think it hurts too much to. I think the big thing is you just want to stay here.
This one hanging straight. They're sweeping to curl it.
Okay.
Get the roll out. So Christina's just going to think about replacing that. Doesn't need to make it too complicated here. You get the force if this is in the rings without a double or like a double rollout opportunity.
I felt like I was throwing draw to the button and
I like
it would
the
just
same
die.
because then if she has to hit and stay or roll in a little, or she has to split and roll,
Okay.
try and give you a few feet left to work with here. It's okay.
So here Christina's reasoning, keep it a little over to the side and you might get a roll out and get a steal out of it. Especially if it's touching the 12 foot, because then if Allie hits it and noses, it's still a steal.
That's right.
Okay, I have a couple feet left.
Sweepers think it's a bit lighter, probably curl a bit more.
Put your broom down! Broom down!
Just pull it.
That was pretty close. That's good.
It's actually hit a very good spot because she cannot hit the nose of it anymore.
Exactly. I thought that one would curl a bit more. It curled a little less than her first. I know it didn't travel as far. So I think Allie will be dialing down the weight here
Yeah, you got it.
to get a little bit more movement. Make that roll just to the inside. She needs to be about middle of the 8 foot to be shot stone for the single.
Looks to be hanging again.
Got a lot more movement on that, but not enough to count for the single. So it'll be a steal of 1 for Team Black in the second. They'll lead 4-0 going into the third. Team MacNutt, they'll keep that last rock here in the third end. It's a good time to thank our sponsors for the 2024 Women's Provincials. It's Kruger Products. Scotties is the sponsor of the Women's Provincial Playdowns. They have been a sponsor of women's amateur curling for more than 40 years at both the provincial and the national level. It's hard to imagine, and I know I always look for that Scotties brand when I'm out at the store. Wonderful sponsor of curling.
So just a quick note on the side, as all the games are taking place at the Halifax Curling Club at 948 South Bland Street in Halifax. Anybody who's around the area, the admission to the Halifax Curling Club is free, so come on down and watch the event. We're going to be having a lot of side events happening, including some live music tomorrow and Saturday. There's going to be a family day on Saturday. All-day donaires tomorrow. Fun times.
I'm glad I'll be here.
Yeah. And then actually on for the playoff round, we're actually going to be setting up an on-ice patch on sheet 1, whereas there will be tickets sold to actually watch the games out on the ice and have your own bartender looking after you. So that should be a lot of fun.
Great sweep.
No surprise on Shelley's first. Asked for it to go in the rings, and that's a nice top 8 foot stone. And we're looking at a very similar setup to last end for Grace McCusker, looking for a corner guard. We're getting lots of ambient noise. Teams get a little excited out there on the ice. Hopefully we're not blowing your eardrums out. We've got a good crew working on that with us.
And as Shelley's throwing, I'll just tell you some updates on sheet number 1 for the male tankard. Team Fleming scored 2 in the second end, and are up 2-0 on Team Everest. And on sheet 8, it looks like Team McLeod has scored 1 in the second end, and it's tied with Team Purcell after 2. And on sheet 4 in the Scotties women, the looks like Team Hilliard scored 1 in the second end and are tied with Team McDermott for 1-1 after 2.
Shelley was looking for just another draw, but got a pretty heavy hog-to-hog time on that last one and actually split her own rock. Oh, no. Oh, I mean, okay. That didn't work out so bad.
No, the curling gods are worth on that one.
Still keep a corner guard. Removed one of the blues and rolled over. I'll take it.
So it still feels good.
On both those stones, Grace is getting a lot of movement to the wings, even on the hit.
Yeah.
for Team Black. Pretty simple strategy. They like blue rocks in play and not really fans of those yellow ones, so they're going to hit the one in the rings. Working hard to keep this one in. They don't want to roll. They don't want to get too close to that corner. Keep it above the tee line.
Good 10, you got it.
Allie could call a draw here.
Yeah, I'll
Just
go
go
with
straight around the corner. It's
Yeah,
tight guard.
Yeah, she could even tap something back. Get some rocks in play.
If you're playing to make the really good roll, I find the rolls are just so hard, especially early in the event, and sometimes you can just place the rock there. But there are lots of reasons why you might want to play the hit. You don't like seeing a lot of the other team's stones in play.
Yeah.
Interesting, they rolled the other way.
Okay.
And one thing to note, both of these teams curl out of the Halifax Curling Club, but we are using the provincial rocks, so it's almost like they're playing in a completely new venue when you play with rocks that you're not used to playing with on a weekly basis.
Interesting with that roll behind the blue stone. It's a pretty straightforward hit here for Carly to lose the yellow. You don't want to hit it too far on the inside. You could hit it too thin and miss, but they're pretty close together. We've got some separation between those blue stones.
Okay, you got it.
So again, if Allison makes the roll here, it's going to be behind the tee line, which is always something to consider. But they've definitely called this a lot. They like playing these hits, it seems.
Give it a little more.
There more.
Grace trying to keep this high of the center line, get that roll. Watch this. Oh, almost got under. It's a tough shot to not lose it out the back.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great effort to get behind there. You can see the whole thing though, so.
Shelly's having to help Jen keep this one straight. If it's on the guard, you hear Christina. She called the whoa. Want to make sure that you hit the guard hard enough to get it out of the way. It's a big sweep.
Okay. You got Maria.
So that's all you need. The one miss and the play for two is on here now.
I don't mind either.
Team MacNutt doesn't have to hit that. You see
Like, do you want to guard it once?
Maria saying, don't have to hit it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
The
you
rest
got
of the
Maria.
team likes the guard. They're shot rock, so if you weren't shot, you would want to make a play on that blue, but they have options here.
Three, tight.
Calling a 3 for weight.
Tight.
3 would be a tight
Tight.
guard, tight to the rings. They want to keep this a little higher if they can.
Yeah, this looks like it's
Tapping.
coming in.
This is the risk with the guard, is you get a little close and you leave it double. So you can see with those yellows pretty close together. Nose makes the double.
It's good. 9.5. Yep.
got tricked. It's interesting. That's I think that's the spot in the first end where Team MacNutt was wide. So I think just two different throws for these two teams. Getting a bit more curl from Team Black.
Yeah, good 10, you got it.
Bit of a swing in momentum just with those two shots.
Yeah,
Or really the past three.
I didn't see if that rock is the second shot she's hitting or is it shot rock. Let me see.
10.
Oh yeah, I think it's shot. I think the blue shot.
10-5,
See
yeah,
the
yeah,
other hit now.
yeah. 10-5, yep. Hard, Allison, hard. You gotta go. Hard.
Hard to stick the shooter now.
Keep going.
Oh.
Hard for a piece and just touches it. So 4 shots of momentum swing. Back and forth here on third stones.
It looks like they're just getting a little fooled on the weight. That weight seemed to be quite down on her last throw.
Yeah, compared to what Team MacNutt has typically been throwing for their hits, for sure.
So do the hits feel like it's faster than your hits or whatever?
So we're on to skip stones. Third end.
If I hit it where you hit yours, I'd be happy. Like that would just be a little ringside roll.
If Christina hits and stays in the ring, so Team Black will sit 3. Not a great steal potential given that they're all around the 12 foot, but they're happy with that. They're happy with a force.
9-8. 9-8. Stay close though.
And this is where the other one over curled, so watching it. That one hung out for a long time.
Good. Yeah. Okay.
That was more like what we saw in the first end, I think. Stuck around, did a good enough job to stick around, didn't roll out. So Allie's.
This would be a great time to freeze to something, I think.
Like,
She could even freeze to the corner one
4,
on the
4,
on the left
5.
side. Possibly.
yeah. We need more. This is like my corner guard eyes. Okay.
And this is the spot in the ice where we've probably seen the least movement. We saw this in the first end. But this is where Christina and Jen were throwing their draws.
Okay. You got it, Allie. Okay.
I say that and then they take more ice, so.
You got it.
Looking for this to just sit on the nose of that back blue stone that's just biting the 8 foot. It's got to be right in front of it, almost like it's glued to it, or Christina will have a hit to remove it. Sweepers like the weight, back 8's the call. It's back 4. They probably going to want to go. They want to glue that right on the face of the blue stone. And we're getting movement.
It's all line now.
Bit of an over curl.
Okay,
I'm
good weight.
surprised that's more curl than I've seen in that path.
Yeah, just hard on the
So if Christina can hit it, they're just talking about where to put the broom. Want to make sure they don't hit the high side of that yellow rock and leave it around. I think it's pretty hard to do that, but
She will be playing a bit of weight at this, I believe.
yes, you'll lose the back blue, keep the shooter right in front.
Just have to hit it on the inside.
Okay.
Heel.
Out turn.
Yeah.
So looking to make that Yellowstone go away. Right on the nose. Good shot from Christina. And the force is on.
Yeah.
At the
Okay. Same.
Now, Greg, if you were
Anyone
throwing
throw
this,
one. Yeah.
what's your thought process?
Okay, you got it, Allie.
I know she's probably thinking right now that I have a little bit of backing, but sometimes that
Same weight.
tendency would be to overthrow it a little bit. I think I would take
got
ice
it.
in the middle of the 8 and just play the draw to the 8-foot, 4-foot instead of trying to go for the backing, because right now that ice looks like it's going to be close to the back.
Yeah, it looks pretty similar ice to Allie's first. Sometimes you'll play the same shot because you just threw it. And so you could be ignoring the backing. But yeah, I agree. You don't want to have that in your head. Straight draw to the 4-foot.
That looks fine.
Yep, they'll just make sure. There we go. Ease up on the brushes.
Okay.
Looks really good. Nice adjustment there from Allie. And they're on the board. They got a single and 3. They'll trail 4-1. Team Black will have Hammer playing the 4th. And now is probably a good time to remind everyone that if you want to come out to the club, we have some fun stuff happening for you. I know some of you are watching from work right now, and I won't tell on you. We've got kitchen specials on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Thursday is from 4:30 to 8 p.m. Friday is 11:30 to 8. Saturday is 11:30 to 8. And we've got the new Scotland patch. Tonight there's the opening ceremony at 5:30, so right after this draw.
Which will be live streamed, by the way.
And Friday, Saturday, Sunday events. On Friday in the evening, you already mentioned the Donaires. We've got music at 7 o'clock in the evening. Saturday's family day. Bring the kids, bring everyone out. We've got floor curling, face paint, snacks, and entertainment, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Saturday evening, the Greg Mitchell Trio will be hanging out with us at 8:30 p.m. and Brooklyn Blackmore will be opening for them at 5:30. So Saturday from 5:30 onward. That'll be a very fun night. Just come for the whole day. Come at 10. Stay.
I know I'll be.
Free admission. We might be here.
We will be here.
On this side?
A different setup. 4th end. Team MacNutt. They don't have Hammer, so Grace put up that center guard, and it looks like it's just touching the
Looks
center
like
line,
a
huh?
little nibble.
I'm finding teams are, even if with the tick rule, teams are not playing the tick as much, even if it's not on the center line. They're saying, no, we've changed our strategy and we're just going to come around anyway.
Go back here. Go back here.
I say sometimes the best defense is a good offense.
Right back. Right back.
And probably a shot that people aren't practicing as much, right?
Yeah,
So you're less
exactly.
likely to call it in a game if you're not practicing it. So there's the come around from Shelly Barker. Allie's called the come around. They could put up a second center guard as well. If you're really going for the steal, you'll see the second center guard.
So close.
They're playing a bit more defensive this game, a little less aggressive. So we're seeing more rocks in the rings for Team MacNutt. Line looks really nice on this one. And across that center line. And got it just biting the top 4 foot, it looks like.
You like that?
Yeah.
Like hack? Like
Heavy
a
draw.
toe?
Heavy draw. Yeah. Hack weight.
Looks like it's about half buried. So Shelly's going to play soft weight at it. Christina loves rocks in play. So they're going to try and keep the shooter around. Hit this with hack weight. Enough to lose the shot rock.
Whoa!
I'm going to jump the gun on this one a little bit.
Yeah, I think this has got a little extra weight. So you see it roll off and look like more like a board to me. Made contact, but lost the shooter. So same call here.
You got it. Yep. Good extension,
Both
you got
teams
it.
will be aware of that yellow rock at the side 8. If there's ever going to be a hit and roll into the 4-foot, both teams can use that rock now. And Team MacNutt won't want to be deep with this because it would leave a double from that yellow.
We're all there. Top 4. Top 4. T.
Where's she back for? We're almost, where's she
T.
This one's got to finish a little bit.
T.
It's hanging up there.
And if it's heavy, they want to take it to the back one. Oh, just not heavy, just the line wasn't there.
I think you can probably get under. If you like, just nose is okay.
It's a bit of a
Try and
risky
get under there.
situation for Team Black, though. If they're going to play soft weight at this and try and get under, if they hit it on the high side, could end up poorly for them, but they're playing it, looks like back line, just to get under, bury under the guard.
I like the weight call, even if it hangs out there. You're not going to lose all your rocks. The blue one in the back will still be there.
Yeah, very, very aggressive. I think they're just choosing to play this game. They could peel the guard, too. They have hammer.
Yeah. This one has to finish, too. It's hanging.
Yeah, it's the second one in a row here.
Go, go, go.
Might even go, I was going to say over the top, doesn't even make contact, more than back line. So it's hanging a lot straighter. Just heavy on both of those. One from Shelly, one from Carly there.
Yeah, you got it. You got
Team
this.
MacNutt's not too upset about that.
Yeah.
They can put up a second center. I think they could put the center up higher too. I think Ali called that one tight, but she could always put up a high center.
Top 12. Top 12.
Yeah, top 12 is
We're all there. We can't.
Top 4.
as tight as they want to be. They don't want to be in the 4-foot, because then it won't curl.
Open your hair.
I think they've got
T.
plenty of weight on this. This might
It's
be
coming
close to
out.
frozen.
Top 8. Top 8.
It's just easy to fruit.
It's hard to know what to do because
Yeah. It's a pretty good
the
shot.
line's not going to be there. Yeah, it's still covering it. It's good of the sweepers to leave it, I think. Get as much separation as possible.
Yep.
Couple of misses from Team Black here, and they're going to have to make a good double.
You like 10? 10? Yes.
So they're looking to hit the high side of this, the broom side, and make the double over the top.
Yeah. It could be a little dangerous if you don't hit this right. The other team could be line 3 at the end of this.
Curl.
Curl a smidge.
They weren't looking to go over the top. They were looking, I missaw that, sorry.
It's not a bad shot because it opens a 4-foot up
Oh,
somewhat
you got it,
for
Maria.
Yeah,
the last shot.
Yeah, I like that.
safe to
Okay,
not
good time,
have
you
that
got it.
rock in the back 4. So Team MacNutt, aware that that's a pretty dangerous blue stone right at the top 12, even though it's 4th shot.
You got Maria.
They'll hit it, knowing that the team up 4 is probably not going to draw around
That's
everything.
right.
9-5-9.
So ideally, the shooter stays out front here too.
9.
I think they might lose it here. Roll over to the side.
Okay, yeah.
Nice if it sticks around. There we go.
We will not see a draw here.
I mean,
This double's pretty good.
I think if there was another blue in the rings, Christine would be tempted. Score multiples, but it's a lot of yellows.
Yeah.
Not a huge risk though. The 4-foot's open.
No, you do definitely want to save the shooter here though, because if you roll out, she's going to come around the center on the next one.
10
Yeah.
and a half, 10-2.
So it's important to save your shooter here.
See if Carly can hold this one.
Yep.
There we go. Sticks around for shot stone.
10-5.
Okay, you got it. Yeah.
So,
You got it. Yeah, take a sec. You got it.
Nose is okay here too. The only thing Team MacNutt here for Maria they don't want to do is hit the high side. Don't want to get a jam on that back yellow. Nose is okay. A little less weight than they've been playing on some of those other hits. At 10 seconds hog to hog.
Hard, you're close.
Looks like they're getting, oh, a little roll. Pretty good.
But it was close.
If Team Black's going to go for 2 points, now's their chance, though, if they can get this roll. But we've seen both teams not quite getting their rolls and their hits. They're learning, though. We're in the 4th end.
She's close here.
This one looks really close.
Nice shot.
Great.
Good.
10-8. Nice throw.
Shot stone, undercover, and we've seen rocks run straight on the other side of the center line.
We have.
Really good result.
Forgot to give you a little update, Selena, about some scores. So on sheet number 1 in the men's tanker game,
If you
Paul
come
Fleming
this way, they
scored
might jam.
3 in the 4th end and now up 5-1 on Team Bryce Everest.
So the outturn, they might
Sheet
jam.
8, Purcell scored 3
Do you like shot
and are up 4-1 on Team McLeod. And in the other Scotties female game, sheet 4, looks like Team Hilliard stole 1 in the 3rd end and up 2-1 on Team McDermott.
I think Allie really has 2 shots. I think she has to move that blue stone. They're looking at a freeze, but I think that leaves a pretty wide open
I think it might
shot
be
for
full
2 for
full.
Christina. I think they got to move it a little bit
Yeah.
We're going
to
for
either play a
What's she doing?
long run back or draw a tap. Looks like they're going for the draw tap. It's just with any extra weight, this is where we've seen the rocks run straight.
Okay, you got it, Allie.
Right, and believe it or not, there
Yeah.
3's actually in play for
Just
Team
frozen,
Black
right?
here if this shot's not made.
Okay, you got it.
Kind of out of nowhere.
Very much out of nowhere.
Right to it.
Just takes one nice shot on the end around.
Top 4! T!
Sweepers like the weight. They're saying T, which is good to do the tap.
Back
Gonna have to be
4.
careful of the line.
Coming off. T! T! T bumping!
Looks real close here.
Oh, that looks really good.
I'm gonna curl it a bit here. Oh, it's going on its own. Wow,
Good throw.
that's the most movement I've seen across the center line. Just need the right weight.
Yeah.
97.
Really good results. Shuts down that scoring area a bit more than just freezing into the top 8 foot. She'll have options on her second one. And so if you're Team Black now and you want to score 2 or more, they're trying to think about how they want to place this stone to not allow Team MacNutt to have a freeze, but knowing you pretty much have to be in the 4 foot.
Right.
I don't know, because I don't know if they're biting the
You
4
could
foot.
corner freeze to the same path that was just played by Team MacNutt on the top rock. Or you can go top 4, which she's tapping. Should be pretty safe. The one thing you definitely don't want to do is touch that guard right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I need to take a little more ice.
It's a tough call. I like what they've chosen because I think there's not really, I don't think you want to play on the other side. You risk leaving a hit and roll under
Right.
cover.
Oh, I think so.
But
So
it is
just
very,
side 4.
it's very important this rock is
the
back 4 too.
situation?
We don't want to be top 4 and Make a little slash double for Team MacNutt.
So that's just like
Thinking might be here too for Christina. If you come up light, at least there's no like double on the blues. So
Right.
let's say if she drew to the other side and came up light and it was an automatic double, it's
Right.
not going to be there
Okay.
Right.
necessarily with this shot. So a little safer.
that's ideal.
What they don't want to do is give up a steal. So even if they're forced to a single, it's not the end of the world. They would love to score here.
So you want to be just biting the forefoot
In the back.
in the back.
Same as I've been throwing that. 15.
I think so. Yeah, you're out here a ways, so. Okay, we're probably 8 right now.
That's perfect.
You're light?
Yeah.
I'd be a little light.
This is wider than we've seen any draws, so a bit of uncharted territory.
It's coming down.
Weight's coming off, the sweepers are saying. It's really curling. Look at this.
I think she's just going to barely freeze to her, the top one.
Could turn out okay if they get the freeze.
That's okay too.
It's not bad.
It just curled.
Yeah.
So does Allie have the same shot?
It was out into a newer path, so maybe.
I don't think she has much choice but to try. This is the side that curls more.
I think so, yeah.
Really hard to draw the other way. I think here you've got a little bit more protection. So Christina's rock just curled to touch the center line, and they had ice in the 8 foot. So Allie's having to take a bit more,
What she threw, yeah.
knowing it's a bit slower.
Trying to go back.
Still doesn't look like a ton of ice, given how much that last one curled.
No.
Okay.
But
I
it's
mean-
the second rock down a path.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, you got it, Allie.
I mean, you almost can't take away both shots. She's going to have a shot either way on her last one. So
Okay, you got it.
it's whatever you
Good
feel
release,
right
straight
now.
up.
The in turn or the out turn. Just, she can get a piece of the button here for sure.
Like,
I wouldn't be able to get a piece of that, but I'm sure Allie can. So sweepers would have watched Christina's last shot. This one looks like it's already moving. They're calling top 4 for weight.
It looks like they're holding it actually. It's staying there. She's on the second one. Ooh.
They got it by. It was actually a little bit heavy.
Yeah. And Christina will have the exact same
Really good
shot.
effort.
Yeah. Weight was perfect.
So unfortunate too. It's not shot stone, and it's
Creates the
just
back.
biting the back. Gives
yeah.
Christina an easier draw now. And so they've adjusted the ice out as well.
So,
We're still
6 feet
shot.
more. Okay.
We can come to
So it's third rock down, but it's not quite in the same path.
Okay. Love it.
Probably have to add a little bit of weight,
Yep.
keeping in mind that as it comes into the rings, it's not going to slow down as much as her first one.
I have a feeling this is going to be close.
Sitting 1, throwing for the second, needs full 4 foot.
All there. Okay, we gotta go a little. 5, 6. Okay. 6, 7.
Saying the weight is close.
Gotta go.
Now it's moving. It's almost like when you're sweeping early, you can hold it better. Look, is it gone? She get it? Needs a spin. Oof.
It's fine.
Might have just got the spin. Wow.
Great weight. Great weight. You can't hear anything.
That really moved more than Allie's.
Yeah, for sure did.
It might be us. From back here, it looks us.
I don't call these.
No, and I'm not a betting man either. So
Yeah. Christina thinks it's blue. Can't hurt to call for the measure if it's close. Definitely one blue.
Measure.
And they'll get the measure. We got Les coming over.
There's so much noise. Yeah. Because I heard you say it's running.
No.
I heard it's running.
I can't say he's my favorite official because then he just happened to be our official at provincials last year. Yeah,
He
we
was
had a
our-
ball.
He was ours too.
I felt like the perfect adjustment.
It was perfect. It was great. Fairness. First bad line call. It's pretty good, this one.
Oh, it is close. I thought it might have been blue, but it is it's close.
Yeah, I'm going to say blue.
You're not gonna take a bet on it?
Nope. It is too early in the week to make bets.
I didn't even think there's that far behind the team. I was like, oh, where's the
So I'm going to guess it's blue.
oh, I better sleep and give myself more room. Well, at least we got one for sure, which that's great. Did not
Scoring
look
is
so
good.
good after the first one. Oh, sorry. I wasn't that worried, but it's just that spot there is very weight sensitive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sharpen up.
Normally when you're doing this in league play, the thirds just do it, but of course in provincials, we have an official come out and the thirds don't know what to do with themselves when this happens, right? They say, where do we stand?
I think it's blue.
Indication
Yes.
is blue and everyone's agreed. So 2 points after a nice little spin in there from Christina on her last. Team Black now, after 4 ends of play, they'll lead 6-1 over MacNutt. Time to head into the 5th. I'll give another credit to our sponsor for the Women's 2024 Nova Scotia Provincials, the Scotties and Kruger products. And if you're flipping back and forth, we'll remind you that the Ocean Contractors tankard. So we want to thank Ocean Contractors for their support of curling. Saw them on a number of jerseys before taking the big leap to the title sponsor of the provincials.
While we're taking a little break, I'll just tell everybody about the 50-50 draw taking place at the Halifax Curling Club. This year we are doing one draw that will be drawn on Sunday, January 21st at 8 p.m. with ticket sales ending at 7:45. Tickets can be purchased online through halifaxcurl.com. Only residents of Nova Scotia are available to be in the draw. And I know the current jackpot is around $100, and that's only from a couple hours being live. No, I didn't. I haven't yet. I will. Don't worry about that. But not me yet. I told you I'm not a betting person. So.
You can follow Halifax Curling Club on Facebook. I'm laughing because I'm reading the word Twitter and I'm
No,
like X.
we don't say that anymore.
And Instagram. You can visit us on South Bland Street, number 948. And if you get caught watching the feed and you just want to keep track of the scores, you can go to nscurl.com or halifaxcurl.com. And we didn't tell you, but the teams are in the Scotties are vying to go to the National Scotties Tournament of Hearts. That's going to be February 16th to 25th in good old Calgary, Alberta. Time zone won't be too bad. We'll be able to catch the late games and still wake up the next day. Or that's how I function when the Scotties is on.
Well, I have an 8-year-old and I'm a high school teacher, so I'm in bed at about 9 o'clock every night.
Well, you can like put it on to go to sleep.
I can PB.
Same line.
Do you know with live sports where like you want to watch it live? I find with curling, I don't care. I'm like, I already know the result because I got a spoiler online.
Yeah, you're right.
But I watch the game because sometimes it's really neat, like knowing the result. to like see how they got there.
Exactly.
Because the game will look like it's going one way, and you know, like, oh, this goes disastrous for these people. Like, how did it happen?
Yeah, exactly.
Top 4 depth.
You never want it to happen to you, though. You're up, and then.
Believe me, it has.
Yeah, I know.
We've all been there.
So Team MacNutt back with the hammer. They got the corner guard. They got a beautiful draw right around it. Team Black with a couple stones in the 4-foot, but looking for, they can't hit the guard yet. 5-rock rule. This is the 5th rock. So looking for a freeze, trying to cut off that corner guard and where it's guarding the 8-foot
Really up.
and the
We're calling
12.
back 8 on this.
So that would be heavy. You see, we're not quite getting the curl.
Okay.
Maybe right through.
Okay.
Back 8, sweepers would have thought that was still in. I don't think that was like an optimistic back 8s. Might have fooled them a bit. I like going around the guard again.
Yeah.
You just got to miss out of them.
Top 8. You got Allison.
Ideally, you want to be right on top of your own no angle on this.
Top 12. Gotta go. Top 12. Top 8.
You're saying top 12, maybe a little light. Wouldn't be so bad if it's another guard as well.
T.
Oh, now T.
Can you go behind it?
You must have found a
Now
quick spot in
heavy.
the ice.
Keep going, keep going.
They did not want to leave that on the corner, like you said. That
Still-
actually works out pretty good.
It does.
Shoot, yeah.
Peel maybe coming up here.
Yeah, love it.
Christina looked at those yellows for a second, but scoreboard is dictating this call for sure. Keep it clean, keep it simple, right?
Yep. Free throw. Free throw.
I'll probably see a few more corner guards come up now.
Yeah, this is I call like a holding pattern. You're just
Yep.
trying to delay the inevitable,
Yeah,
which
it's
is
not
the play being brought into the rings.
Good throw, you got it.
We know Team MacNutt will have to make a play on those 2 blue stones in the 4-foot.
Two, three. Three.
Little tight.
All there. Two. Deep 2.
Mine's good.
3.
Wait only.
High 3.
Don't want
Clean.
this in the rings,
2.
Great.
Me.
but they're calling
Yeah, hard.
2 to 3.
Hard, guys, hard.
Every team uses their own, whatever they decide is their zone or their weight calling.
It's so tempting here to
Yep.
try this.
Sitting 3.
I think you still have to do the guard. But
Yeah, I love the peel.
yeah.
Scoreboard. If you ever, I don't know that Jen can like fully see that. They were just talking about that, but if you ever hit high side, you can get a double jam and yikes.
I like what
Like giving up 2, even like 3, worst case is fine here. Like I love the peel.
Yeah, I'd be going right up and peeling that off really quick.
I like this. Hey.
Christina likes this.
Yeah. I like
Sometimes you don't argue with your skips.
That's right.
Sometimes you're awful tempted though. All right, let's see. Trying to go for the nose here. The double's there if she can get to the nose.
10. Little down, maybe. Clean. Yeah. 10.
I guess plan B is the peel. Watch this and they get the inside.
Great shot.
Avoided the jam.
One
All
less
right.
in the house than they did before.
The corner guard's still there though.
Yeah.
Top 8.
And yellow's still shot.
Okay, Marie, you got it.
And Team MacNutt still nicely set up here to score multiple. If she can make a nice shot here.
Top 8.
T-line. That's a big ad.
Top 4.
T-line. Line's good. Top 4.
Top 4. Top 4.
Top 8.
Top 8. Top 8.
Top 8.
Like
Top
hearing the
four.
weight calls from this team. This one's starting to move. My goodness. They're calling top 8 to top 4, and that's where it is.
That's a very
Nice shot. So now you see the result of that last call. There is a shot here. Slash that blue into the yellow. You can end up shot here for blue.
Have to watch this jam, so if you hit it like the same, it will be fine.
Thinking even nose.
Do I need to hit it thinner? No.
Christina's worried about that back blue. A thin hit will
I think
drive the yellow stone and jam it on the back.
This is gonna catch this, but with more weight, we can spin it out. I think I'd like to spin it out. Yeah. So I think you just throw it a little harder. Okay. Like that, Bob?
So as a result of that last one, they're not looking at the peel on this because they feel like
No.
they have to remove a yellow.
Yeah, I think they're into this now. I don't
Yeah.
think you'll see the peel anymore. Just gotta be very careful on this. It doesn't hit this too thin. Jam on the back blue.
Okay, probably 9.
Whoa. Yep.
Yep.
Hard.
9.
Hard.
Going hard, so she's probably not hitting it too thin.
Hard, hard. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, just quiet. It looks like a quiet kick. 9-4.
So curled a little more. Yellow still out counting
Okay.
the blue. I think we're on to what Maria's last shot, so 3 yellow stones to come. They're trying to think, do we try and lump one other behind the guard, or we have to
think
make
it
a play
moves a
on the
bit
shot
here.
stones now?
Yours moved when you threw them. Yeah.
Part of
Fifth
me-
end.
Part of me says not to
I don't
hit
mind a bit
anything here,
more.
maybe just to freeze to one of them.
Okay. Good throw. You got it, Maria.
Even a like a draw tap.
Yeah, yeah.
Try and get a mistake, because I don't think Christina can risk trying to hit the one behind the guard. She's always going to be making a play on this one.
Right.
Up 5. And you might get lucky with a jam, is the thinking. This one's moving. They don't want to lose it. Got to the nose.
Like I thought that was.
So is there any roll that's beneficial to Team Black here?
I think so.
They're looking at nosing, I think.
So you're saying
Leaves a tough double on the blues. And the higher these rocks in the top 8 foot are, the less it's going to favor Team MacNutt, because they might not have shot stone at some point.
Right. I think the nose is the ideal shot here. Forces MacNutt to play some kind of a hit and roll behind something, and even then, I think Team Black will still have a pretty routine shot in their last one.
It's almost like when you're up a bunch, a force is really sometimes forcing them to 2.
Right.
10. Yep. Whoa, it's clean. Little up. 10.
Want this one to curl. I don't want to make too much of a roll.
Wow.
Yeah, I was
Sorry.
like,
I didn't think I kicked out that hard. And then it hit.
So now, is there a good roll that Allie can make? She's looking to roll behind the guard there, but I don't know that it's.
I don't
She
think
kind of tapped and rolled up as if it was going to roll up. I just think you end up on the side of your yellow, and you might leave it double. So I think you
She's
got to go
following.
back toward the other
She's
one,
cutting
toward the
it
center
double.
line.
Yeah. Yeah.
you could
no,
play
I
the one
agree.
on the left and go for a very, very big roll if you're looking
Okay.
for multiple points.
Rock.
So she's hitting the one on the right side. Well, not
You got it, Allie. Just
on the angle we're seeing
roll
right now,
back
but
over. Okay. Yeah, look, you got it.
Yeah, I'm rolling back toward the center line.
right.
Yep.
We saw some, I think this is where we saw big movement. What end would that have been? The third?
believe you're right.
We had some misses over in this way, so we'll want to watch the line here.
9-5. 9-5. Yep. 9-5.
So sweep right away.
Hard hold it. You're close.
Hard to hold the line. Oh, and look at that. They called it. And got shot.
That's the best she could have done there.
Yeah. Good throw, Ollie.
So Christina thinking, okay, if I hit this on the nose, there's a double for 2.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to hit it and roll too far to the other side. She risks kind of nudging that blue stone sideways, although I think that's pretty hard to do. Basically trying to leave a double, or knowing that you're going to leave a double and make that double as hard as possible. So I think rolling a little bit toward the center line, would you say?
Yeah, that would work, or even rolling square on top of her own would be a hard double to make.
Hard double and stay, yeah. Exactly. Forgot about that part, the double and leave your shooter. All right. Last stone for Team Black here. Where will they leave the shooter? Just got nose. Pretty good. There's still a double though. Double for 2.
Nose.
Pretty hard on the center line side, just inside nose.
Yeah. And you almost have some catchers if you catch it a little too thin on one side.
Playing the opposite. Did Christina just throw that turn, or she throw the out turn? Should have paid
She threw an out turn.
Yeah, so the other
Other
direction. Yeah. And Christina's held straight. So we always say we expect the opposite to happen, although we've definitely seen movement across the center line. So let's see. First good shot for a 2-pointer here for Team MacNutt. She got the weight. Just be careful on the curl. Gets it, sticks around. Oh, just too thin. And unfortunately for Team MacNutt, they're looking at another steal for Team Black. Awful close. And that'll take us, the score will be 7-1 favoring Team Black, and we'll have a little break here at the 2024 Nova Scotia Scotties, and we'll be back in a few. we'd like to welcome you back after that short intermission to the 2024 Scotties Provincial Playdowns here at the Halifax Curling Club.
Top four.
Help her out, make it a
If you
6.
missed the first part of this game, we've got our first draw
Running.
duel between Team Black, the defending champions, and Team MacNutt.
Just with the chamois.
I guess I can safely call them the youngest team on the ice right now by a mile.
We've been
All
over
19 and 20
this
years of
couple,
age,
so-
and still eligible for the I don't even know what to call it anymore, U22s, U21s, eligible for the juniors, for the World Juniors, if they are to make it out of Nova Scotia and Canada. That would be their goal for the season, and their goal for right now is to have a great second half here in the first draw of their first Scotties. Team Black with a strong, very aggressive first half of the game. They're leading 7-1. Team MacNutt, they have hammer here. Allie MacNutt, the skip, had a really close shot for 2 there in the 5th, just didn't quite make it, gave up the steal. But they've been playing better end after end this game, I think I can say safely.
And we're definitely going to see a lot of rocks in play here from Team MacNutt. They'll try to put everything in play. Team Black will just be trying to keep it nice and open and clean. I'll give you a quick little update. All games are now past the 5th end and now in the 6th end. In the men's tankard on sheet 1, Team Fleming is still up by... Chris, you didn't move out of the way. I can't see that score.
Didn't give you much.
5 something.
Running.
I see it. 5-2.
Running.
And now Fleming has the hammer back over Team Everest. And on sheet number 8, Team Purcell scored 1 in the 5th end and are up 5-2 on Team Glenn McLeod. And on sheet number 4 in the women's Scotties, looks like Team McDermott scored 2 in the 4th end and it was blank the 5th end. So Team McDermott is leading 3-2 over Team Hilliard.
All right. So it does feel really. Yeah. Wait. 4.
And both the provincials, the women's and the men's, the format's a triple knockout. So you'll have to keep an eye on the scores and the standings to know when your team is playing next. You can find that on nscurl.com or halifaxcurl.com. We're also going to have updates on Halifax Curling Club's social media pages. It's an 8-team per event, triple knockout. You lose 3 and you're out. 4 teams will qualify for the page playoff system. So all the teams playing are vying for those A qualifying spots, failing which B and C are okay too, but the A is important, puts you through in a good position in the page. You want to have that 1-2 spot. So I suppose A or B is fine.
Top 8. You. Top 4, T. Girl there. T.
And an
T back
interesting
Back 4, yeah.
setup. We've got the corner guard
Back
from
four.
Team MacNutt. Team Black was able to actually missed. I think Team MacNutt put a guard in, or oh my goodness, words, a draw in play, and Team Black was able to hit it and roll to the center. And so now another.
Yeah, they made a very
draw.
nice shot to get access with that.
Words are hard sometimes.
Especially late in the week.
The thought is in my head, and sometimes it doesn't come all the way out. So Peel here. We talked about a scoreboard play in the last end, but now more than ever, just peel the guard. And there's a reason you play a lot of weight on those peels. You can hit a big chunk of the rock and still lose your shooter. It's a nice one there from Carly Everest.
This is your 2. You got it.
So in contrast, Team MacNutt, they know they're going to have to deal with those stones, just like in the last end. Those centerline stones, they're not quite as nicely laid out as last end, so might go for them a little earlier here.
Let's try.
But need the guard for now.
Biting 8, full 12.
This one looks like it's coming in the rings too.
Okay.
It's another example of those where the sweepers know the weight and they're always hopeful that they're wrong. No question for Team Black. They were going to be hitting the stone even if it was a guard, but bringing into the rings the doubles in play here on the yellows. And we're seeing the ice is very fast, so easy to have a rock slip into the rings.
Just going to hit this thin, if anything.
Yeah, we're seeing the sweeping be very effective, which makes the line calls that much more important. So now we're on to third stones. For Team MacNutt, they waited a little bit before making a play in the rings in the last end, but they don't feel like they can afford to do that with 3 blue stones grouped.
What are we doing?
And looks like they're playing a hit weight again. They could do a little tap, soft weight.
Yeah, I think the call is definitely to tap something back, even if you just hit something with hack weight and push the stones to the back of the rings.
Like nose, the top one? Okay. You got Maria.
Might see those blues spread out. If she hits this right on the nose,
Good throw, you got it.
should make contact with all the blues.
You got it.
Hanging wide.
Keep going, keep going.
She might even lose her other yellow here.
Woo. Okay. That's one gone.
Always have to be optimistic.
1 down, 2 to go. Unfortunately, really wanted to keep the shooter around. Chances of scoring multiples go down if you're not keeping the shooter. And they did play the softer weight too. Really, Maria's holding quite straight. I don't think we've seen an overcurl on hers.
No.
Great throw.
So same kind of situation. I love a softer weight here. Keep those blues in behind the tee line. They're playing, I think, more weight.
The out turn. So we keep
Well, she originally called a hit. I think she's now playing a tap.
Switching, yeah.
Which is
I just
probably
think
the
we know
best call
ice a bit
here.
better. Yeah.
You want to do like the other turn?
Yeah. Here you go, Maria. Top 8 weight. Top 4.
Top 4. So that would be like freeze weight if they want to move it.
Top 4.
They're going to have to sweep.
Top 14. Top 4.
Trying to keep this on the high side of the second blue. Here we go.
That's a very nice shot.
Nice one.
Good throw. I mean, sweep. Good throw.
Going anywhere, my dear?
You might have to lose. Yeah, you could guard, or you might have to
Hit
lose
it
all
off
of them
that,
if you're gonna
and then
wail
it
on
might
it.
That's not going anywhere.
You hear Shelly just say, could guard.
I could just hit and
On,
just
I think if
leave
this were the
there
setup
and
and it was
say,
Christina's
like,
last shot,
wait and keep my shooter
it's pretty
here,
tempting
like a
to
10 or
guard.
whatever.
It is. It's actually a very. It's not an easy shot right now to get those blues moving.
Yeah.
So you're almost helping the other team by
Right.
hitting it if the yellow stays around.
Timeout's being called.
Calling the time. And they'll send Coach Stu.
We have timeout. Forget that.
It's a very interesting situation. Will you help them by playing the hit?
Pretty.
Get it out.
No.
So I know, but that's
'Cause
what
I
I'm gonna
can't-
ask too. Or I can
can't
just
sweep
hit it
it.
and take out one and leave it so I can take it out next time.
And it would be tempting to play a guard, but even if you were maybe
Watch out first.
top 12 as a guard,
So
it wouldn't
I
be.
can either like
I think Allie's just going to tap. She's got to move. Allie's got to move one of those blues on her first. She has this, like, kind of the, if nothing changes, she could make a play on the more open blue right now.
Yeah.
So Team Black trying to decide what's going to be more beneficial to us to lose both yellows at the end of the day. I say both because there will be another one on her next shot.
Right.
And it's hard to remove that yellow right now. Coach Stu McLean, Coach Teresa Breen. Team Black. They got the duo of coaches. The other one's in here, Carol. Saying Stu looks like a giant. Don't flatter him that much. So see, it looks like they've decided on the keep it simple principle. Whale on it.
Yeah, I think if you even jam, and the worst you do is give up 2 here, and that's not a bad score.
It was my initial thought, just lose something.
Right.
Doesn't feel right to play like a protection shot on your first, huh?
like a 10-5.
Okay. Oh.
I just heard an update over on the Ocean Contractors tankard.
I did too. I glanced over at the sheet, and Glenn McLeod made a triple on his first and was lying 3. And Owen Purcell made a double right back, and then Glenn made a open draw for 2, and so it's a 1-point game now.
Oof. So they're playing the softer weight. They decided on a little hit. They know they're not going to lose the yellow, but clean things up for themselves. They'll have an open hit, ideally, on Christina's last, potentially a double as well, if Allie doesn't roll far enough away. So we knew Allie was probably going to be hitting this.
Okay.
But she'll be looking for a bit of a roll, I think.
think
They
so.
talked about
I think this spot, yeah.
staying in the center, but I don't think you can do that. Leave a double.
We'll see your ads. I would that. Okay. Okay, you got it. Whoa. You got it, Allie. Yep. Right to it.
Sweep into curl. Watch the roll. She could jam. Just too thin. Just too thin.
That was close weight.
So chance to sit 2, and you really no risk of giving up more than 2 this end for Team Black. But now the force with a hit and stay.
Oh, that was close.
Christina doesn't really let up. She's reminding Carly that ideally we roll Shelley's way. So away from the center. I think she wants to force Allie into a draw with that thinking.
Ideally, you just want to stay here.
Yep. Yes.
Yep, 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 yep. Yep, yep, yep.
Hard, roll it.
And there's always your primary goal for a shot and often a secondary goal for a shot. So that's good thinking. Hit the rock first and then worry about the roll second, for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
But when you're this good,
Okay.
you have to think of the second.
That's right.
And so here, this is why Christina wanted a bit of a roll to the 12-foot. She wanted to force Allie to play the draw, and you can see that given that a nose hit will be shot stone, Allie's going to play the hit.
Okay.
She'll want to watch this. This spot has been pretty straight most of the game. There's been a lot of rocks that have rolled out from this, so she'll make sure she's not overthrowing
Right, you
this.
got it.
Probably want to throw a 10.
So we'll see what the sweepers think of the weight, and how this works out. Hit and stay for a single. Allie MacNutt, 6 then.
Clean, clean.
You like hearing clean when you're a sweeper on the last shot, so there we go.
Good call.
Nice shot.
Good for the single. And well managed. Team MacNutt picks up the single in 6. They'll trail 7-2.
Good throw, Allie.
Team Black, they'll take the hammer back in 7.
Okay.
Center.
So I think double center. Just start with one. Just start with one.
Yeah, like how we play 4.
Yeah, how we play four.
Hear a little bit of the planning for Team MacNutt. We're up first. What are we going to do?
That's why I turned their mics up a little bit so we can get a little bit of a clue.
So definitely a center guard. Can't play into the rings. Got to keep it out front. Take advantage of the free guard zone. And
Okay.
we'll see if they do a center guard too. This team, they indicated they might want to go in on the second. Sometimes it depends on what the other team does as well. But when you're down a bunch, I think you really got to have that center guard set up. This one looks really nice and high. And they want to keep it on the center line. Really nicely done.
Very nice.
Timeout on 4.
And Team Black, they're up. They don't want guards. Shelley's not going to want to put this in the guard area.
Line's good.
That's the thinking for a lead, right? Is how do I
Line straight.
not get the end off to a bad start? So make sure it's in the rings.
Easy for a little bit.
This one's hanging. Might be heavy.
Don't touch it. Yeah, don't touch it.
It's just going to screech to a halt there in the back button.
We're not going to get the second guard.
It's very tempting to freeze when your opponents put one right behind the button.
I think we don't touch it.
Running.
Line has to be good here. 'Cause if it's not frozen, Team Black will certainly go for some sort of a hit.
Allison.
Line's good.
This one looks good.
Really nice.
Very nice shot.
Didn't quite stick it on the nose, but good result. I don't think Team Black's going to be that upset. They're just happy they didn't have a second center guard to deal with. Because now this shot's easier. Little Little tap.
Yep, she can be a little heavy on this. Rearrange everything.
As long as Shelly makes contact with one of these, I think they'll be happy. They'd love to stick it right in that forefoot area. But we've seen these ones hang with extra weight. So Shelly added, and it's through the rings kind of weight. I don't think we'll get the curl. And we're seeing that now.
Yep, Carly. Yep, Carly, I'm trying.
There, it's
Yep, Carly,
finally
yep.
moving.
That was just really heavy.
You got it.
Great chance for Team MacNutt here to get a second one on top.
They can put one on top. They could put up that second center guard.
Yeah, yeah. Time to give you a
Okay, you got it,
6th and 7th end update. So sheet 1 on the men's tankard. Team Bryce Everest just scored a 3 in the 7th end and are now trailing 6-5. Team Fleming has the hammer in the 8th end. On sheet number 8, we have Glenn McLeod scored 2 in the 6th end. They are currently down 5-4 to Team Purcell. Team Purcell has the hammer. And on sheet 4 in the Scotties game, it is 4-3 for Team Tanya Hilliard.
It's wide open.
And we saw Allison Umlaw's draw come up a bit light, and I love that result. Just love it. Carly Everest being asked for the peel. Potentially the double peel. There's a bit of an overlap in the line on these.
Curl.
Doesn't want to leave the shooter out front.
Do the top one. Curl, roll it. Okay.
Oh, and just missed both. So game on for
Yep.
Team MacNutt. The
Big
steal
break.
is on.
Yeah, absolutely is.
You got it, Allison. You got it. Top 12. Top 8. Top 4.
Weight looks perfect. Perfect if they can get it to curl a little bit more. Might have left a double.
Yeah, that had to get under the guard, unfortunately. Still not bad, because Christina's playing on a rock in the rings.
Right. Even if Carly makes this double, there'll still be rocks behind the tee to freeze to tap back. And she's going for the guard.
Yeah. That's, we talk about the scoreboard play, or, I mean, I feel like I've
No, you're right.
been talking about it a lot. I like this a lot more. I always try to think, what does the other team not want me to do? Are they happy if I play into the rings?
Big. Curl.
Trying to touch that second one. Oh my goodness, look at that. I mean, a little,
Gosh, that's
Little unlucky, but lucky at the same
my
time.
goodness. Those were perfectly set up to get lost.
Okay.
So,
You got this.
I mean, we kind of got the same result,
Yeah, I think it's same speed.
result
You know it.
as just playing a hit on the ones in the rings, I suppose.
Yeah.
Now the draws here. They've been playing this side of the sheet. The natural look is to come with the other turn and maybe get fully buried. But I think Maria can get fully buried under this tight guard here.
Good close.
They'd love this to be like top button.
Thank you. Two back 4.
Yep, fine.
Back 4.
Back 4, back 8.
A little heavy.
Back 8. Back 12. We need the back 8. We're through.
We're off it.
We're through.
Sweeping for the backing now. Good audible from the sweepers. Needed to make contact. So do you, do you still peel?
This is the third
so.
peel, yeah, for sure.
Intern.
They're going for the double peel. It's the best result for sure. Let's see if Jen can do it.
Peel.
And I say Jen Baxter.
Curl.
And you say, oh, Jen Wilson.
Roll.
And there's a story, at least as far as I understand it. No,
Sliding wide.
she's Baxter Wilson this week. Jen got married this year. Or last year, I suppose. End of the summer 2023. And she wanted her husband's last name on her jersey, is what I understand. I could be corrected if I'm wrong. And so now she has a Wilson jersey to go with all her Baxter jerseys, but her last name is Baxter.
So once again, the double peel was unsuccessful, and Team MacNutt has a chance to get another one top 4. Lie 2 buried with double guarded.
Back 4.
We're a little wide.
Back 4. Lots of room. Back 4 still.
It's trying.
Back 4.
Back 8.
So they're having troubles in this spot. It looks really quick in this
Okay.
spot. Dare we say a 4th time for the peel?
It's okay.
I mean, they can see the tight one.
Yeah.
That center line's just tricky, eh?
Yeah.
Maybe a relief to throw the other turn and not go for the double.
Just say smooth. I like it. Okay.
There we go. Sitting 2. Dare I say you
Return to
almost need
return.
another guard here for Allie. Even if it's in the top
say so.
12 foot,
Yeah.
have something to come around on your last. I think they're playing into the 4
Okay.
foot. Christina, it's just such a long guard. She'll probably have a hit, and you'll make it again.
Okay, Allie.
We're going back to the turn they've been playing
Same speed it's been.
this whole end. Like that thinking.
You got it, Allie. Yeah.
I think there's more risk of an overberry here than an under. It really
Right.
had some nice
You got it.
finish with good weight.
So we'll watch this spot. It's been pretty quick here. Everyone's been pretty on the heavy side on this side. So kind of important to be above the tee line for this shot.
Top 4. A little wider. Top 4.
Stay a little wide.
Top 4. Top 4.
T.
Can I go?
Yeah.
They like the weight. It should curl nicely.
Good, line's good, line's good. T. 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 We're there, we're there. Good throw.
Good throw, Allie. Good call, Leo.
Yeah.
So what
Oh.
can Christina see? That one came up maybe a foot deeper than they wanted.
Like punch it back in there.
As you said, it came out the other side on that. So
You like that?
she could throw some weight and maybe get rid of a couple of yellows, possibly. But I think it's important to try to keep your shooter right there.
Yeah, for Christina, if she can stick the shooter around, the 2 will be
There should be a nice little wall in
alive
the back. Yeah.
and the score for sure.
Yep.
Like back line. Okay.
Think they can get to the nose? Is that what they're trying?
I think so.
Draw.
Yeah.
This is where we saw,
This is the other side.
4 with
what
an
end is it? 5th? The 3rd?
Yeah, I think
A
that
lot
might
of
be
rocks run straight. Another odd end.
Yeah.
So the tightening up of the ice for back line. This is not a lot of ice compared to what we would see in other parts of the sheet.
Through for sure.
Looking to make contact. This one's curling early. Almost didn't look like she quite got out to it. Can Shelly hold it?
She's by, but
Got it by. Now they're keeping it. They don't want to roll off this. They want to stay in that 4 foot. And the shooter did roll.
It's a pretty good shot, actually. If she can roll inside on this.
That girl.
That was a little
Good.
light.
Yeah.
Really important to know how much Allie can see from the hack. It's such a long guard, but it still gets in your head, so you want to feel like you can get around it.
That's more than we were given for draw.
Not too much of a different shot than she just threw, though. She'll just add, I think, enough to move that blue stone just back to the back 12.
Do
Hey?
you like a
Yeah,
little less?
she
I
only
think
really
this
has to
is
move it
close to
maybe
what our draw ice was.
3 feet.
It's very similar to her draw ice. I think that's what the sweepers are just saying. And with that extra weight, it'll hang for a bit longer. So I like this. You can control it more with the sweeping. If it's wide, it's really hard to come back.
You got it. Right to it, Allie.
Just a few feet more than she just threw.
Back line. Back line.
It'll hang a bit. Looks pretty close. They're going to sweep it to curl.
Still
Yeah.
back line.
It's not taking the curl yet. There we go.
It should snap
Starting
here.
to move.
She's close to a good shot here. It's a very nice shot.
Really nice. Look at that to sit 3 for sure.
Yeah.
And Christina, not going to mess around on that other side. Just draw for the single. Needs full 4 foot here.
And it came down hard. It would have been just back line. Yeah. Yeah, like a 4. Yeah. Yeah. So that one came down really hard.
Yeah, but I was all in the middle.
Okay.
I think like a 405.
Okay. Like, no less than that.
Full 4, guys.
Good ad.
So let's see, last rock, 7th end. Facing 3.
This is a brand new spot on the ice we haven't seen in a while too, so this could be tricky.
Big part of the reason Shelly's keeping her broom down there, just to make sure the ice is not getting too sticky.
Yep, they're calling 6-7, which should be close. I think she's perfect. Great shot.
Look at that, no mistake there, Christina Black. Drawing right to the button. Good for the single. And after 7, they'll lead 8-2 here in draw 1 of the 2024 Nova Scotia Provincial Women's Championships, the Scotties, presented, of course, by Kruger Products.
So, try and play a quick end.
Keep an eye on, I know we're trying to keep you updated on the scores, but just keep an eye on the Halifax Curling Club social media pages, as well as nscurl.com or halifaxcurl.com for scores and draw updates, because it's a triple knockout, so depending on the win-loss, that will determine when each team will play next. And as Greg said earlier, we're co-running, or the Halifax Curling Club is hosting both the women's Scotties and the men's Ocean Contractors Tankard at the same time. So we'll have a mix of both of those tournaments at the same time. We've got 2 games each right now.
And we're happy to say we're going to be hosting this event for the next 2 years as well. So
Starting to
we're looking
curl.
forward to that.
It's much easier to come watch for for me when it's close. I didn't get to see anything live last year.
Yeah.
So we hope all you locals or anyone who loves curling. I know some people are really good with traveling. We love to see you here.
Okay.
The patch is going to be rocking all weekend, all the way through to Championship Sunday. And we'll mention again, because Greg, you mentioned it earlier, but the playoff Sunday
And Saturday.
and Saturday.
Yep.
Sorry, you can get out into the ice shed. So it's free admission in general, but you can buy tickets. And check out the socials. I think Facebook probably is the best place for that. Halifax Curl on Facebook to get tickets for that. You can be out on the ice. You can hear what the players are saying. And
Yeah,
I heard some bar service out there as well.
Yeah, seating's going to be limited. So on Saturday, tickets are $10 a person. Tickets can all be purchased on the Halifax Curling website, which is halifaxcurl.com. And the tickets for the on-ice patch on Sunday are going to be $15, and again, can be purchased in the same location. I was taking a look this morning, and pretty much half the tickets are gone already. So come on. Yeah. So,
Get them quick.
Yeah, exactly. So get online, get your tickets, and should be a great time.
Should mention now that I see it's the New Scotland patch there.
That's
See
right.
Coming through the guard zone. I'd like to thank New Scotland for helping put that on. Great sponsor of curling. Founded by curlers. Everybody knows at this point. So 8th end. Team MacNutt with that hammer. They got their corner guard and now calling Grace McCusker for the draw. Line looks really nice on this one.
So here's my question for you, Selena. Would you put up a second corner guard in this situation?
I think you have to.
Yeah.
Now, some people would debate whether it's on the same side or opposite side, and there's very strong feelings
Yep. Yep.
and strong opinions for both options. But down a few, I think you need that second corner guard, take advantage of that free guard zone.
Right. My sentiments exactly.
The trouble is the other team's making it awful hard. So earlier in the game, I think for Team MacNutt, the second guard would have been so much more attractive because the setup from the Bluestones from Shelley, there were a couple where she had them off center. These two are stacked.
Yeah.
It makes it harder to deal with.
That's right.
So then you're a little less willing to put up that second corner and delay going into the rings because you don't want to have to deal with that later.
Right.
Yeah.
They're saying the rock is picking.
To manage it okay.
Yeah.
Line ended up all right. They're guarding the I don't want to say the right side of stone, but the better side of the stone because it doesn't leave a play on those blue rocks. See how Allie's having to potentially roll to the open side, but they realize they probably got to deal with that guard.
Right to it.
And this is why that stack is so annoying for the team with hammer.
10. Clean. Whoa. Clean. Yeah. Hard, Maria.
Can we get a second corner guard out of this, though, potentially? Quite roll enough. It's almost an auto double there on the corners.
It's so hard when it's like so close to the other rock. I'm like, oh yeah. Because my broom's gonna get chopped.
A little thinner.
Oh.
Could have got some separation.
I don't think that will drag into there. I think she can play the double peel quite easily. I shouldn't say easily, but I don't think it will drag.
Yeah, it's pretty. Christine just looking, how thick can I hit this and will that yellow? If you don't know about the drag effect, it's mind-boggling to watch. If you do know about it, you're like, oof, where am I? Can I calculate this correctly?
Yep.
So Christine is a little worried, not because the angle looks like it'll go straight into it, but because of how you have to hit the top rock, that the back rock will be driven into the blues.
Easy peel?
And you don't really want to, you know, hit the other team's stone into your own.
That's right.
It's a little bit of weight there.
Let's see physics in action right now.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Ooh.
Hit a little thinner than we expected. Didn't make
Yeah.
as much contact with the second one.
Yeah, it was
That
tough
helps
to get
Team
those.
MacNutt a little bit.
Yeah, Team MacNutt, they're happy. They got 2 yellows in play.
Like, you can try this.
Be awful tempted to still guard that corner one.
Yeah.
I just think it's quite early on second stones to bring play into the rings. It's really tempting to deal with what's in the center, though, but
Yeah. I don't mind this call. She's just playing bumper weight and just hitting
Yeah.
the nose of it.
spread them out. Leave your shooter out front.
I'm falling behind on my updates. So on sheet 1 in the men's tankard game, Paul Fleming scored 2 in the 8th end and is now up 8-5 on Team Everest.
Clean, yeah.
Team Purcell scored 4 in the 7th end and are up 9-4 on Team McLeod. That's a very nice shot she just played there.
That's great.
Very nice shot.
Okay, this way.
And on sheet number 4, it looks like it's a tie game. Team Hilliard scored 1 in the 8th end and it is 5-5. So Team McDermott now has the hammer into the 9th end.
10.5.
Team Black, no need to deal with what's in the center right now. They're just eliminate the rocks on the
Yep.
wings.
I know, you got lots of room. Okay.
I like what Team Black is doing. I noticed earlier in the game they're communicating a lot more than I typically see with their hands. So
Yeah.
Carly was saying weights down so that Christina knows. It gets awful loud out there, especially when you're competing with other teams yelling. So the sweepers, and I saw, I think it was Jen earlier indicating a 3, just with 3 with her hands.
Yep. Yep.
Really useful
Like
for your
they
skip to know that information.
That will scoot under the yellow and you roll. No, the yellow.
Yeah, Wednesday night here in our competitive league, it can get pretty loud out there. So it's important to use
Like you
hand
hit
signals at some
half,
point.
Like 3/4 of the yellow, it'll scoot under. You lose the blue and you roll. Yeah.
Now, Allie's
Just gotta keep 'em
original
spread out.
call was to make the across the ring double.
Yeah.
But part of me says she should play the exact same shot she just did.
Yeah, I love the same shot. Even if you hit it on an angle and roll your shooter
Yeah. Timeout's being called.
wide.
Off goes Coach Teresa.
I think if you hit at an angle, you can roll your shooter to be second shot. You're going to make contact with that back red. Again, you don't
Like
have to
here, but
push it out of the rings either, right?
Yeah.
well, they were saying that we could hit like half of the yellow on the blue, spin it under the corner, and my shooter rolls over here. Yeah, that's a good option. Or we were saying like play the same thing Allison just played, or hit and roll with shooter.
I like either weight again and stack them up. This is your first one?
Yeah.
So like the same thing Allison's doing?
We were just thinking spread them out
I'm
a
just
bit.
thinking like I think it's a double.
Oh, I would go right on the nose.
Yeah. And just shoot
If you nose, then it might come back,
yeah.
right? Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
We had 10 seconds. Yeah.
Like good forward. Okay. I like it.
So I think they're agreeing with you. Teresa seemed to like that nose with soft weight.
She's sitting right next to us, so she must have heard me say that.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
definitely didn't form her
You
own
got it.
opinion. good coaching too. She's listening to what her players are saying and what they're thinking before commenting. You always like
Good board.
to see a coach that
Yeah, right to it.
understands what the team is thinking before just coming out and saying, you should do this.
That's right.
And it's the team calling the timeout, not the coach. We see sometimes the coach behind the glass really wanting a timeout. More in the younger junior side of things to challenge a call, really.
And the timeouts at this level are different, obviously, than the junior, because they would be used to Teresa actually sitting on the ice with them and getting that coach's interaction every end now with juniors.
Didn't quite get up to nose on that. Now there's a double. That just looked like extra weight. They couldn't get it to curl quite as much as Allison's second there for Maria.
Probably like a 9. Okay.
Hair high nose should make this. One held quite straight. Get the curl now.
Very nice. Shooter held on as well.
Did I move that when
I hear the, oh.
I back?
Okay. You got Maria.
Okay, so.
Speed's the same, yeah.
So now the 4-foot's available. And that top, I don't know if it's biter. It's going to be used as a guard for Team MacNutt.
Back 12.
Still a good chance here to get their deuce.
We need it.
They're calling
Although
back 12 right away out of her hand.
Back 8, coming off. Back 8, back 4.
Actually looks like it's coming down really hard
Back 4.
and close to the guard.
curling a ton. They got to get it by. Oh, that's tough.
Okay.
It's tough when you think it's heavy and then the weight comes off and by then you've missed the line call. Blue sits 2. So you don't want to jam.
Yeah, you don't want to play around with this. I think you just want to make this disappear. You don't even have to stay on the nose on this. Just make it go away.
Yeah, and the idea of nose kind of brings into play if it overcurls ever so slightly, you could jam on the back and yellow would sit shot.
That's
so
right.
Christina will err on the side, the broom side of this, and they'll call the sweeping that way.
Stay right there if I can, but I just can't come up over nose or I jam.
I'm just here saying that can't come up over nose. So just a bit high side, try and leave the shooter out front. And this is the first of skip stones here in the 8th.
10. 10-2.
Yep. Whoa, clean, clean.
Just clean, just clean, just clean.
Whoa. Sit.
There we go.
Good.
It looked like it was busting.
Good.
Really hard to draw that other side, so Allie's forced to stick with the same turn they've been playing this end.
I don't think so.
Just watch Maria throw it. Although sweepers are maybe going to be talking about the speed.
Right.
They've taken a bit more ice.
Okay.
I don't know if it just is breaking down in the slide path, and that's why that one, the weight came off and it curled on the last one. This is a little wider.
There's something under there. You got it. Right to it. T. Back 4. T back 4. Back 4. Back 8.
Be careful this doesn't snap like the last one on them.
Back 4. It's coming off. Back 4.
They're still saying
Still
back.
4.
Line looks fine.
We're there.
Oh, I think this will get buried. They just want it to stop now. Really nice.
Very nice shot.
Yeah, me too.
Hard to have that be too much higher and be buried. So this is the shot that you were probably going to leave Christina no matter what. Is just a freeze to take the deuce away. Christina doesn't have to be frozen to it. Just has to be full 4 foot under the guard. Not even fully under the guard, because then a hit would jam. A little bit of room for error here.
Where's that one exactly?
Needs to be shot.
Back 4.
Okay.
T-line.
Yeah. Okay, probably a little light. Be a little light. I think we're a
Line's
little
definitely
light.
out there a little further.
Yeah.
Looks like it's coming off pretty nice.
Going hard for weight now too. Want to get it there under the guard.
Great shot.
Nicely done. Now, is there any kind of soft weight? Hit and stay? I don't think so. I think they're looking at the
Yeah.
only shot that's available here. I mean, if you can punch the blue out the back on the center line side,
Would you like a little more?
can you
Yeah.
leave the shooter around in the side 8 foot?
You possibly could.
They're playing the double.
It's pretty hard this way. Yeah.
And there's a little bit
Yeah, no,
of variation
for sure.
with where Allie can hit this.
Yeah,
She can
Allie.
go, doesn't really want to go into the top too much, but I think it's pretty flat. Hard
Right
to
to
go
it.
into the top. She can go into the side and even probably trail or like let her
Yeah.
shooter
Right.
slide back.
She could even hit it a little too thin
Yeah,
and go
that'll get
onto
though.
her own and be
Yes.
shot.
Yes. She wants her 2 though.
That's plan C.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Big double here.
I think she's close. Probably a smidge.
Set it back on release. They need to, oh my goodness,
Very
look at
nice
that.
shot. Very nice shot.
That was confusing.
Very good. Good for 2. And
Thank you.
I feel like I'm more excited than them out there. What a great shot from Allie MacNutt there. After 8, they'll still trail, but cutting into that lead with that deuce, it's 8-4. Team Black leads. There we go. Got the fist bumps out. And all the other games are still out on the ice. One of them's in the 10th. Everything else is in the 9th.
Do you think a little more?
Yeah, the only game that's in the
Can I
10th
just
right
have a
now is on
touch
sheet
more?
number 1,
A little more? Thank you. Okay.
where Bryce Everest just scored 2 and is now down by 1, trailing 8-7. But Team Fleming has the hammer in the last end.
It's out there.
Mine's good.
Give you a bit.
Mine's good. Wait only.
So I think we'll see a center guard. It's been our favorite setup here, going to the odd ends.
Good sweep. Yeah.
And for Shelly Barker, no guards. Just put this one in the 4 foot.
I gave it a pretty good ad.
Lots of line. Lots of line.
I think we are.
Gotta curl a mile. Have a look.
I like.
15-1.
Starting to curl now. That really hangs. I've seen that so many. It hangs on that side, but has a really nice finish once it takes it. And a nice weight there from Shelley.
I got edge on edge. Sure.
Ali
Surprisingly,
thinks they can see enough to hit and roll here, just with a control weight. Are you surprised?
very surprised.
No second guard.
No second guard, no freeze, no tap. We're playing some weight.
Close. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa.
Yep, hard.
Almost got underneath. Nice weight though, soft. Team Black's all right with that. They're happy to have fewer rocks in play. They have the hammer.
10.5. Little flop under.
Christina called the flop under. They're not upset if they roll away either. First objective, just remove that yellow stone.
No, 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 no. No.
Very loud no.
Curly, it's got to curl. You got to curl. Hard. Hard. Hard.
A lot of panic. It looks like a good shot.
I think it was light. It would have
They want to make it perfect though.
Yeah.
Leave it there and you give your opponent the chance
You got
to
it,
flop
Allison.
under. So it was the roll away or the roll under. That's why Christina really wanted that roll under. This one looks like it might curl. It didn't, Allison didn't get out there too far to that broom. Going hard for line here. Oh, and they don't want to touch the guard.
Okay.
Now, with the 5 rock rule, you can't remove your opponent's stone from the center line. But just like the free guard zone, where you can't remove your opponent's stone, you can remove your own, so that you can tick your own stone off the center line. And Christina's not too upset with that anyway.
For a second, Christina called the shot to go around the yellow guard. I'm like, wait now.
Should feel good out here.
You can hit.
Yeah.
It's in the rings.
I do have one more update on sheet number 4 for the women's Scotties. Team Hilliard stole the 9th end and are now up 6-5 on Team
10.5.
McDermott.
10.
McDermott has the last rock in the final end.
curl. Little more. Nice throw.
They were trying to roll that in, but just the nose. So I think Allie's gotta put that guard back up.
It looks like we have handshakes on sheet number 8. Never saw this final score, but Team Purcell did come out with the victory over Team McLeod.
2.
Lots of room.
2.
Lots of room.
Just a 2.
Hurry up.
You. 2. 2.
Yep, hard. Gotta curl. Hard, Neil, hard.
Keep going, keep going.
It's a nice one there from Allison. I think her first one, it really just light. It really, really curled.
Have to be
But
careful it doesn't just go into that, but just straight peel.
smart.
should be
They know they
fine.
need that center guard. They're trying to steal here.
All right. Good deal. It's nice.
Whoa. Curl. Curl.
Straight peel from Carly here. Curling to make contact.
Oh
Oof.
my.
It's always the way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just poked it wide.
You try so hard to make it so good, and every so often you just pop it that hair wide, and it doesn't curl too much when you get that weight.
You got it.
So now the chance for the come around.
We're there. Give me back. Back four. Trying T. T.
It's not slowing down like it did the other end across that center line. Starting to get it now.
We're on it.
Sweeping for line to curl it as well. Got mostly under, if not fully buried. Christina, not really worth it to go play on the one in the rings. She has hammer. Just play the peel.
Just nice. Yep.
Hard.
Yep.
Hard.
Watch the shooter. They want that to be out too. And looks like Shelley was able to get that out the side. Good shot.
You got him, Maria.
So for Team MacNutt,
Right to it.
let's just guard the one in the rings. Sometimes I say the guard is one of the hardest shots in curling.
It honestly is. It used to be
I mean, a triple run back triple is pretty hard, but also a guard.
it used to be at one point it was the perfect freeze was the hardest shot, but I agree it's the guard now.
That's good.
Maybe it's that a lot of shots are hard. I think that might be the answer. But yeah, I agree. It's you can call the same ice as you did for the draw and you'll miss it because sometimes it's lighter and it over curls. Sometimes it's lighter and it doesn't have the chance to curl. Depends on the ice, depends on the rocks, depends on the thrower.
So Jen has a pretty open shot here. That guard over curl.
Baby.
Ice 4. Clean.
10, 8, 11.
Whoa. Gotta curl a hair. Whoa. Yep. Curl. Yep. No roll. Sit.
Nice one there. Notice they wanted to roll that one away. Didn't want to give something back in the back forefoot for Ali to freeze to. And, well, this looks like the line for a hit. It's a draw. She's got to use that guard.
Yeah, same speed.
Same speed, which means she is playing the draw, which she
You got it.
has the best chance for a steal.
Sweepers don't mind it. It looks a little lighter than the other ones coming down the sheet here, though, so they're going to sweep to get it there. And we know it'll get into the sticky stuff a little earlier. Yeah, they got to go. Not so bad. It's still a guard, and it's very usable. Christina could double peel, but she's going for it. Risk reward.
Right there. That's where
The reward is you can make it really hard for Ali to get anything in the forefoot.
That's right.
What about the risk? Don't be heavy.
Yes, that's the one miss you do not want here.
Don't be too light either.
Yep. She can make this really good and still Ali
yeah.
will still have a shot with the out turn to the button.
Same as what I threw this way.
Yeah.
I think it's the same slowness everywhere.
So ideal placement would be top forefoot as close to the button as she can get, I think.
That might be a little light. Like 4. We're pretty good. Okay, we're
Just
pretty
watched
good.
a fantastic shot on sheet 4.
6.
One of those really easy double run, double kind of shots.
That's right.
Very easy.
curl, huh?
You know, that was quite a little bit of an in-betweener.
Good.
I think Allie can
You
just
come
throw the
to-
draw.
Yeah.
And if it's heavy, they can try and curl it and wick off.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It'll curl if you have the right weight.
So Christina had better weight, went a little heavy, went a little straight. Allie's was light and curled, so where's that magic in between? And by a little heavy, it was like,
Okay,
what,
you
a
got
foot? Foot heavy?
Not even.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you got it.
We have these useful
to it.
rings on the ice that we know the diameter of. Makes it really easy to,
Right.
to say how far things go.
Back four. T-line. T-line.
So they're saying it's there.
Back four. Little back. Back four, back eight. Back
Sweeping
eight.
from
Going
line.
for the backing.
I don't know if she's.
Oh, look at the curl. Oh. Weight was there. That one just curled. And I wish I had watched her delivery to see if it was tight. They didn't seem to worry too much out of her hand. Maria called the sweep pretty early, though.
Same thing.
So it looks like Christina has a draw here, and this will be for a 3 spot,
Same line?
Yeah.
just like in the first end.
Okay, we're should be fine. Probably 6, 7.
No, it's fine. Line's the same.
7.
You're
Okay.
on ours.
As long as we have.
They have the backing too, so Christina wouldn't have thrown that light. She knows she can come to her own, and that one will be good for the 3.
And handshakes.
Final score, 11
Good game.
to
Good luck.
4
Thank you. Good game.
in
Good luck.
favor of Team Black. They'll take the win in this draw 1 of the 2024 Provincial Women's Curling Championships, the Scotties, and we'll see Team Black move on. They'll play the winner of McDermott Hilliard. So keep an eye on nscurl.com or halifaxcurl.com. Greg, thanks for doing this.
Thanks, Lee. It was fun.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next draw.